Hi, I'm Nicola McKenzie, founder and mortgage advisor and insurance specialist at Dunham Mortgages. And in today's video, I want to show you how you can get the best deal on your critical illness cover. So stay tuned. So before we get into the main part of today's video, guys, we don't just do mortgages here. We specialise in personal insurance from a range of different insurance providers such as Legal & General, Aviva, as well as many, many more. And it's worth pointing out that when we give advice and even arrange insurance policies, we don't charge a penny. And you also get a free will writing service as part of the service too. So if critical illness cover is something that you are even considering or want to look at options for, then head over to our website and book yourself a free of charge appointment today, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the video so that you don't miss any more videos from me. But let's get into the video. Okay, first of all, I just want to give you guys a really brief summary on what critical illness cover is. Critical illness cover is designed to pay out a lump sum of money to you if you're diagnosed with a critical illness. Now, the main three illnesses that most policies will cover is cancer, stroke and heart attack, but depending on the quality of cover, your policy might cover you for many, many more things. And the key word about that is diagnosis of the condition is when you get the payout. So unlike your life insurance policy, you don't have to die from that condition. It's on diagnosis of that particular condition, that is when you would receive the payout. But now I want to just look at, from a price perspective, how we make sure that we get the best cost of cover for clients, and then I'll move on and talk a bit about quality later on. Now, first point I want to mention is that when you're looking at different options across mainstream insurers, generally speaking, the price is going to be very similar, but you are obviously going to see a difference in price. Generally speaking, the difference in price is going to be down to quality, which I'll talk about later on. But the bigger impact on pricing is where and how you take the policy out. So for example, if you take the policy out via your bank or via an estate agent, you're going to have a couple of disadvantages. A bank's usually only going to be able to look at one insurance company. They're not comparing against the rest of the market. And also, banks and estate agents usually do something called load their premiums. So what's a loaded premium? It's where the bank or the estate agent will inflate the amount that the policy costs by sometimes 5%, 10%, sometimes even more in some cases. And the reason they do that is because they take advantage of the fact that a lot of people are loyal to their banks. A lot of people see it as the easy option to go to their high street bank or their estate agent and just do everything at once. And they will also load the premiums because high street banks, estate agents, they've got branches, they've got, generally speaking, high overheads, so therefore they will charge extra accordingly. Now, usually if you're dealing with, say, a small independent company like ourselves, or direct with an insurance provider, we, for example, would get the exact same price as if you went directly to Legal & General. But the added benefit is that we also give you advice, whereas when you go direct, you don't get any advice. So that's just a really key point. It depends where you take the policy out. That has a massive impact on pricing. But also as well, where you take the policy out in terms of your health history. So the pricing of insurance is dictated in the main by you and your lifestyle and your health. So an insurer will want to know if you smoke, how old you are, what activities you do in your spare time. And all of these things will impact on pricing. Now, every single insurance company will treat medical conditions very, very differently. So if you have diabetes, for example, one insurer might charge 3 times as much for the policy. The next insurer might only charge twice as much for the policy. And again, if you're not an expert in the field and if you don't have knowledge and experience of dealing with this, then how would you know which insurance company is going to give you the best price based on your circumstances? Another example, if you smoke electronic cigarettes, they don't even contain nicotine. Some insurance companies will still consider you as a smoker, some won't. So again, as an advisor that's had many years of experience dealing with such matters, I would know which companies are better suited in that scenario than the next company. And that's another massive impact that you're going to have on pricing, is what quality of advice you get when you're setting the policy up. So that's a key point to consider as well. So now let's look at the quality aspect of getting the best deal when it comes to your critical illness cover, because for most people, whilst on the face of it you might think getting it at the best price is the most important thing, but then usually those people are the same people that complain when they have to claim and they find that the policy doesn't cover them. So the point I am trying to make is that getting the best deal, as far as I'm concerned, is about, yes, getting the best quality of cover at the best price, not necessarily getting the cheapest policy that exists. So what I want to do as well, just to illustrate that a little bit more, is look at a comparison in terms of quality between a couple of options, because I just want to show you how much the quality can differ. Now, most insurers will cover your main three conditions, which is cancer, stroke, heart attack. But then some will go even further. Some might cover early stage cancers, some might not. Some might cover many other things like diabetes, some might not. So that's where, again, you really need to pay attention to the quality as much as, if not more so, than the price of the cover. Now, I've got a quick example here that I want to show you. And this example is looking at a comparison between two mainstream providers. And another thing that I'm going to mention as well, actually, is that many insurers nowadays, they even vary the quality amongst one insurer. So for example, you might have one insurance company, Aviva for example, and they might offer two or sometimes even three different quality options, all with that same provider. So it can get very, very complicated. But anyway, this is just a quick example I wanted to show you. So you've got two insurance companies, one along the left, one along the right. The ticks indicate that that insurance company covers that particular condition. So the option along the left shows that this particular provider covers cancer. If we scroll down, they cover heart attack. If we scroll down, they cover stroke. You can see they don't cover anything else. So if you were unfortunate enough to have severe Crohn's disease with that particular provider, you wouldn't get a payout. If you were unfortunate enough to have a less advanced cancer with that particular provider under that policy, you wouldn't get a payout. Whereas you can see along the right hand side, the policy that we're comparing it to, there are so many more ticks. So the other provider would cover things even down to accidental hospitalisation, down to blindness, down to cardiac arrest, down to being in a coma, down to deafness. There are so many, even type 1 diabetes, earlier stage cancers. So an early stage cancer being carcinoma in situ stage. The medical definition for that is before the cancer has started spreading. Now, in terms of the cost difference between these two providers, in this example, now you have to bear in mind that the cost is obviously unique to every individual based on age, based on medical conditions, based on smoker status. But I did a quick cost comparison, and based on an 18-year-old female, non-smoker, no health conditions, the price difference between these two options was only £2.10 per month. Now, you're not telling me that for £2.10 a month, you would rather go with a policy that covers you for three things versus all those ticks along the right. Maybe you would, but most people would probably just rather pay that small extra. So that's the point I'm making about quality. It's so important, guys. You don't want to be in a situation, or most people don't want to be in a situation where they've got a less advanced cancer and they don't get a payout, where they've got Crohn's disease and that particular policy doesn't cover it. And again, that's why it's so important to get sound, proper advice from a professional. So if you're looking at taking out critical illness cover, we can help you. And like I said, we can help you free of charge. So make sure that you get in touch. So in summary, I really hope that that's given you some idea on how you can get the best critical illness cover. I hope it's been a useful video for you guys, because like I said, this is a complex area. Most people think it's quite simple on the face of it. They don't sometimes put as much thought into finding the right policy as they perhaps should. Don't be one of those people and be in a situation where you think your policy covers one thing and you find out when it's too late that it doesn't. So if you want advice on how to get the best policy and how to arrange the best policy and look at options for your circumstances, then head over to our website, book yourself a free of charge appointment, dm.mortgage, or give us a call on the numbers below, drop us an email. We would be happy to help you. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we don't charge anything at all to give you advice and even to arrange insurance policies, and we deal with all of the leading providers. And with every insurance policy that we arrange, you also have the option to have your will produced free of charge through mylastwill.co.uk. So why would you not get in touch? No brainer. But anyway, head over to the website, book an appointment, and I hope that's been useful. Subscribe if it has, and I will really look forward to seeing you in my next video. Until then, take care.